What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to a brand new video. As you can see from the title of the video and also the thumbnail, this is not going to be your normal car video. This is going to be more or less an update video, just letting you guys know what is going on with my life and what am I doing and how come I haven't really been uploading. Before we get into that, I want to kind of talk about some of the current subscribers and some of the people who have commented in the last couple of videos. I know it's been a little bit since I actually made a video, but I wanted to start off and giving a shout out to Frosty FC. He said, I saw your car at Mark's feeder store. Me and my girlfriend went out to eat a while back and they actually seen the car. Of course, I have decals with my YouTube logo and everything, or not my YouTube logo, with my YouTube handle and everything on there, and they ended up commenting. Shout out to you. And then I also wanted to give a shout out to Zombie Beastly 01. Him and me had a conversation of he said I had a beautiful car and he's seen it at a stoplight, and he mentioned how he wanted to get a 5-vote as well. And you know, I kind of talked to him about the options of what he has. Of course, you got your Gen 1 5.0, you get your Gen 2 and your Gen 3, and I kind of was just letting him know what you can do in the sense of like with your money, because the first Gen 5.0 is your 13-14 year Mustangs, and those are really nice. I love them. I love that body style as well, but they don't handle horsepower, at least big numbers, very well. Of course, it's the first iteration of the Coyote. Now if you go to the second gen, which is the 15-17, they can handle a lot more power because of course it's second revision. The only thing I kind of was telling him and making sure he knew was that the 13-14, they're pretty outdated. The interior's outdated, but with that being said, if you just want a daily driver and you just want to do cosmetic mods, that's a good platform as well. But the inside is pretty outdated in my opinion. But you still get that Coyote, so you still get that good horsepower stock. If you aren't planning on doing any supercharger or turbo, then that's a perfect platform. But if you want something more modern, the 15-17 is going to be a really good middle ground. It is going to be more expensive than the 13-14, but the interior is so much nicer in my opinion. The horsepower is slightly more, and you get a little bit more reliability. Of course, it's going to be the Gen 2, so they did change a couple things in that motor, so it can hold a lot more horsepower than I believe the Gen 1. I don't know the exact amount, but of course I know it can handle more. And I was just telling him that, and honestly, having the conversation with him really made me happy, because one of the biggest things I want to do with YouTube is just grow community. I love having conversations about cars. I love talking about Mustangs and stuff like that. And I just loved talking to him for like the few, I think it was back and forth for maybe one day. But regardless, I loved having the conversation. And whenever he gets the 5.0, if you're still watching my videos, please send me a picture, send me a link to that, and I'll love to look at it. I really hope that you get the one. Just consider all the options. Make sure you get the best bang for your buck. Like I said, if you're not really planning on doing anything, leaving in stock, my recommendation would be the 13-14. But if you are wanting to do power mods, definitely do Gen 2. Because this S550, the 15 through 2021, I know they did some revision in the front end and some stuff like that, but there's a lot of customization. At least I think there's more with the S550 than there's the S197 personally. But that's just me, just because I don't own an S197, so I don't know how many more things there's for those. But I just personally like the new body style. What made me go to that instead of the S197 is mainly the interior. I wanted to get an automatic for my first one. I wanted to get a manual, but at the time I really needed a car then and there, so I ended up going with the automatic. And the reason I went with the newer one is just honestly the push start. Being able to be in my house, especially during winter, turn on the car, let it warm up instead of going out there turning it on and all that stuff was a huge factor for me, which is why I wanted the new one. And also I just like the new body style, so there's that. And then I also have one more comment. I don't want to butcher his name, but I'll show it. That guy, it's going to be backwards, so I do apologize. But he said, just saw your car on Dixie Highway, and then he gave that emoji. I was going to comment back, but I didn't see that you commented until a week later. And then by that point, I didn't want to be that weird dude who comments a week later, because I find it kind of weird. So I do apologize. But yeah, I usually am on Dixie every single day, because that's the route I take to go to work. So yeah, I'm always there Monday through Friday. I used to be on the weekends too at my old job. But speaking about job, I wanted to touch a little bit about that because I did end up switching jobs. I work at a place called Rainbow Design Services now. Before I used to work at Lowe's. And this has been kind of a tough transition on my life, because before my hours were strictly, I was able to make my hours at Lowe's because they reflected whatever I didn't have school, I would work that time. So I kind of limit the hours I would work in a sense. I had Saturday and Sunday. No, I had Friday and Saturday. No, I worked Friday mornings and I had Saturday off, and then I worked Sunday mornings. But now I work Monday through Friday. And what's really challenging with this new job, the job itself, I love it to death. I've always wanted an office job, and this is pretty much an office job. I'm literally sitting on a computer and doing work. But the hours is what's kind of killing me. I'm work 4 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. Literally, it feels like I'm in and out. That's not the issue. The issue is my sleeping schedule. I have some issues with sleeping in general. So when I get home, either I sleep at 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 a.m. and I wake up at 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. I mean, and if you think about it, that leaves me no time to do anything. At night, I can't do car videos because people are sleeping. I can't really do much because, you know, there's no light or anything. And then during the day, I'm literally sleeping up until I have to go to work. So it's kind of get to a point where I really don't have a life, or I don't have time to do stuff except on the weekends. And honestly, most of the weekends I'm just spending with my girlfriend. And also just because right now I'm really thinking for the future. So I'm kind of being hesitant to buying a lot of stuff for my car right now. And I'll show you in a second, but I've started to think about the future in the sense of investing in stocks and building more wealth. Instead of just spending it on the car. I love the car, and if I was wealthy, I would spend all the money I could on it, or as much as I can without impacting my normal life. But because I'm 21, so I'm really young, of course, I'm looking in the future, and I want to buy a house at the latest 30. And I know people, you know, around me who are 30 and still don't have a house, and I don't want to be like that. And let me pull up. So I started investing, and I'm planning on doing this every other paycheck, roughly, here or there. There's some stuff that I purchased for the car and I have to purchase, so that might push it back a little bit. But right now, as you can see, I don't know if it might be backwards, so I might have to flip it. But I got I invested $600 in stocks, and right now, because of the growth and the money that I've that when I purchased it was on the low, now it's grown. I'm at almost $670, so I've almost made $70 doing absolutely nothing. I have one stock in Apple, I got a couple in Ford, I think I got 7. I got one in Intel, which is a computer, if you didn't know. But I lost $10 in that because of some of the stuff that they were doing kind of went downhill. And then I bought some in AT&T, which I made $2 in that. But the one that I made the most money on is Apple. I made $80. I was gambling a little bit on 2 stocks that I purchased at $70 overall, and I lost $30 on that. So because of that, some of these stocks just even it out. So originally I was at 530, and then I ended up selling them for a loss to put into something that I knew that wasn't going to lose me money. And then the Apple kind of kicked in and made me more money. So I would be more or less at the 700 mark if I didn't buy some stocks that dropped drastically. But you know, I'm still getting to learn the stock market and stuff, so I'll eventually get that all settled. But yeah, that's one of the biggest things that is kind of keeping me from buying a lot of things. I'm really looking into the future and how I can make my money make me money. With stocks, I know you eventually get dividends, which the company pays you money for owning a portion of their company. Of course, it's not a lot in the beginning. Once you get a lot of money into it, it becomes drastic money. But that's one of the things I've really been thinking about. I really want to make my net worth more than what it is. I've been watching people like me, Kevin. He's a big YouTuber, and people like him who he works with, and they really inspired me to put money into that. I would love to do real estate, but I don't think I have a good foot in that yet, and plus I don't have enough to even buy a house. So my goal is doing stock market. So that's something I've been doing, and also I wanted to talk about, I don't think I've ever mentioned on YouTube, but people who know me personally know this about me. I'm in college, and I will be graduating in about 5 to 6 weeks. And the major I'm in is graphic design. The reason I chose graphic design is because honestly, from when I was really young, I've always wanted to become a YouTuber. I remember watching people like KY, Speedy, people doing Minecraft videos and stuff like that, because I was a kid. I'm 21, so you know, I've seen some of that stuff of the YouTube realm. And I've always wanted to do gaming videos, which I have done, and it's on another kind of YouTube channel, but it just never went anywhere. And as I've grown older, I've started liking cars a lot more. And now that I like cars, I want to do a car YouTube channel because I don't really have time to play games as much as I used to. So, you know, and I love doing cars, and I love everything about cars. I love the people who love cars. I love just the passion. It makes me happy. So I like putting time and money into that because that's something that I get joy of. I know I've seen this meme where it's like people who spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on cars, and other people are like, why would you do that? We do it because it makes us happy. And honestly, me doing stuff like that makes me happy, and that's primarily why I spend money into my car, because it makes me happy at the end of the day. I love hearing the exhaust, especially when I put the Borla Attack exhaust versus the stock exhaust. When I downshift, oh, when it pops and crackles, it just makes me happy inside. So yeah, anyways, back to the degree. Yeah, so I'll be getting it soon. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna pursue a career in it. This last year before I graduate has kind of, I don't know, it kind of killed my ambition of being a graphic designer. I've always wanted to do an office job, and right now I'm working at an office job. Of course, I want to be a graphic designer, which would be an office job. But this job, I really like it, and there's potential of me growing and becoming a supervisor manager. One of my friends who's in the same field as me and in the same class and going for the same degree, she's been promoted, I think, 6 times, and she's making a huge sum of money for being 20 or 22 or 21. I think she's 22 because she's older than me. And she's making money as if she was working in her field, but she hasn't got her degree yet. And if that's possible for me as well, then why would I go for that? You know, why would I pursue that degree? And also, being in that class, I've never been a school person. I've never enjoyed it, but I've always pushed myself to go the step of getting a degree, mainly because first, I'm a first generation born in America. So for me to be able to have all this is amazing to me, and it's a privilege. Sometimes I have to sit back and think about it. I'm a first generation born, being able in the 2015 Mustang, being able to be the first to graduate. It's a huge accomplishment in my eyes. And it disappoints me, and at this point, and I feel like people are going to get disappointed to know. My brother sometimes watches my videos, so if he watches this, it's disappointing to me to tell people that I don't want to pursue a career in that degree, even though I'm getting the degree. Or in that field. It's just because I don't see a future in me doing that. I don't have the passions I used to when I did more artistic stuff like that. So it really disappoints me to tell people, and I just don't want to disappoint anybody around me. I remember I wanted to drop out a quarter ago, but my girlfriend told me not to, and I didn't want to tell her that I want to drop out because I didn't want to disappoint her, because she knows how much getting a degree first in my family means to me. But it just, that drive to do that kind of burned out. I'm kind of burned out of it, and I don't want to do graphic design. That's kind of what I've come to the conclusion to. But like I said, I don't want to disappoint anybody. I didn't want to drop out, especially when I'm this close to graduating, because I knew she would be disappointed. And it kind of hurt me to, disappoint others. And that's what's kind of hard to talk about it, because I know if my brother watches this, he might be disappointed. But it's just the fact of, I don't see that making me happy anymore. I don't want to be in a career where I'm just unhappy and don't like it. This job, like I said, it's not the best job in the world in the sense of like it makes me happy, but I can definitely do it, I think, long term without getting burned out. Compared to Lowe's, it's the biggest thing that I love. Like, I wouldn't change anything about my current job. I wouldn't go back to Lowe's. I would always be here versus Lowe's. Like, that's how much I love it. The only thing I like Lowe's more about is just the people, the interactions. Since I'm in the office, I'm not really talking to people. I'm more or less just in my little cubby, pretty much. Especially with the corona, they don't want us to interact that much either. So, like I said, not a lot of people know on YouTube that I was going for a degree, and I'm about to get it, but I'm just not going to pursue a career in that. And honestly, I want these next couple of years to really focus on YouTube and do stuff on that. Like I said, ever since I was like 10 to 13, I've always wanted to become a YouTuber. And to me, becoming a YouTuber means specific things. It doesn't necessarily mean making money. If I can make money off YouTube and use that money to keep pursuing YouTube, I would love that. I would love to make money to put it back into YouTube, but that's not the goal. What makes me happy is to be able to have a conversation with people. That conversation that I had with who was it? I think Zombie Beastly 01, talking about the Mustang and stuff like that. That's what makes me happy. I want to have a tight community that have conversations, and that even means having 1,000, 10,000 subscribers. I don't see myself hitting 100,000 or even 1 million. Just being able to have those conversations, talking to people, that's what really I want out of YouTube. And being able to talk to that person, give him some advice, it really just kind of motivates me, and it really makes me happy that people are looking at my videos and saying stuff like that, and we're able to interact, especially during this time with the corona and everything. You can't really do face-to-face interactions. So, but I do have another video planned out to be coming out, not this week, like not this following week. This video is probably gonna be coming out Monday or Tuesday, but it'll be the week after that. I did end up buying a new I don't know how many people are actually going to make it to the end, so I'll just go ahead and say it, because if you don't, then you'll see in the next video. But I ended up buying a new steering wheel. We're going to be doing a new steering wheel install. It is carbon fiber and has Alcantara. I was going to do a leather one on the bolsters on the sides, because when I worked at Lowe's, my hands used to get really greasy and grimy, and I didn't want to get the Alcantara all dirty. But now that I work in the office and all I'm doing is hitting the keyboard and mouse, I don't get greasy or anything, so I went with that route. But I can't wait. It has the flat bottom, all carbon fiber. It just looks gorgeous, and I can't wait to show you. And then after that, I've already mentioned in the past, I have Brembo brakes, and I need to put them on just because my brakes and man, I'm pretty sure it's my brake pads, but they're pretty worn now. It's starting to squeal a lot when I'm going slow and kind of trying to stop, pretty abruptly. So I want to get that, and I was gonna do that before I got the carbon fiber wheel, but the issue was that a lot of places I was gonna buy the brakes and rotors, like I was gonna buy it as a pair, they're sold out. It takes 3 to 7 weeks to get. So with me not making a YouTube video for a while, I wanted to get something that I really wanted and do it quickly, just because I want to keep expanding the growth of my channel and gain those views and gain people to see what I do and hopefully enjoy it and like it and then subscribe for the future. So, and then the last thing I want to touch base on that's kind of been on my mind and kind of been why I'm making videos as well for like a little bit is, I don't know how many people know this, like that know me, just because I haven't really spoke about it. I know a couple people at work do, just because I haven't mentioned to them, and then my girlfriend. But one of my uncles died I think a week or two ago, and it's kind of at first took a pretty big hit on me, like mentally wise, because I haven't had anybody I know die. Like I haven't had anybody pass away, so it was kind of weird. And then the hard part is my uncle was born in Mexico, and that's where the funeral is going to be. And especially with this whole Corona thing, my mom went back to Mexico last Tuesday to go, because my grandma's there, so she went back there to give her support and make sure that she knows the family is there and everything like that. And I don't really per se have the money to go there, but either way, I'm gonna scramble the money to actually go back. I haven't seen my grandma back in Mexico for maybe 7 years, so it's been a long time since I've actually seen her, and I want to make sure I do see her, because no one in my family thought my uncle was going to pass away the way he did. No one envisioned he was healthy and everyone else in my family was healthy, but it just made the realization that anybody can go in any time. It doesn't matter if they're healthy or not. And I want to see my grandma more than I do, because I don't know when the last time I'm gonna see her is. So I want to make sure that I have the opportunity. I'm really young, of course she's not, but I want to make sure I have the opportunity to see her when I can. Just because since she lives in a whole other country, I don't get to see her that often, and I want to make sure that my last memories with her are good. Of course, me going there aren't going to be the best memories, because of course we're going to be all, she's going to be grieving and everything because of my uncle. But I still know they're going to be great memories regardless. I haven't seen her since I was, like I said, maybe 13, at the earliest maybe 15, something like that. I don't honestly remember. But I just want to make sure I'm there for my family, and I want to say my goodbyes to my uncle. I didn't see him that often, but the times I did, I remember were great. So I'm pretty upset that happened, but I'm glad that I'm able to see him for the last time and at least mentally give him a goodbye. And I hope him the best, and I hope he's in heaven right now watching over us. I hope he died peacefully, which I don't want to get too into detail, but I know unfortunately he didn't die the peacefulest way. But I just hope that he's in a good place now. So yeah, I'm also going to be making a video of me going on an airport and going to Mexico. I don't know how much recording I'll be doing in Mexico, just because it's Mexico. I'm not going to like a pretty populated place where Americans go. I'm going deep into Mexico where my grandma is, and it's pretty far into Mexico. So I don't know how they would react or how they feel about me recording, and then especially me going out there speaking English. They're going to notice that. And of course I stick out a little bit. If I hold this big old camera and stuff, I don't want them to think something or try to come after me. I still have those kind of things of like, if American goes out there and goes like to the wrong spot, they can potentially get captured or try to get ransom money and stuff like that. So I still have that in my brain, even though I know I'm going to a safe area, but I still want to be careful. And on top of that, the corona, I definitely don't want to catch it. And then on the way back, I want to be as safe as possible, because at my work, I work pretty closely to people, but I'm still separated in a sense, and I don't want to get anyone else sick. So there's that. I know this has been a long video at this point. It's probably been over 30 minutes. I'm going to chop it up as much as I can. But that's pretty much what's been going on with life. Like I said, I really wanted to talk about what has been going on with me and stuff, just because I don't see a lot of YouTubers do that. And I want to make sure people think and know who I am, know what's going on and stuff. So I just want to recap. I'm still disappointed about the whole degree thing, but I think that not pursuing a career in it and doing stuff like that, it's just going to make me happier in the long run. I'm planning on doing more YouTube videos. I have a video scheduled next week. And once again, I just want to say thank you to everyone subscribing and comment. It really makes the whole world to me. It makes a whole difference. And yeah, like I said, even past next week of the carbon fiber wheel, I'll look for a kind of vlogging style video of me going to Mexico. I'm gonna vlog the whole experience, how it is, because especially right now with the whole corona, flying is a whole lot different. I remember back when I flew, my mom told me a little bit about when she went. It almost looked like no one was there at all. And I remember the last time I went, it was jam-packed. You can see people literally touching elbows and everywhere. So it'll be a pretty different experience. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really just wanted to make this personal and let you guys know who I am, a little bit about me and what's going on in my life. Like I said, I just wanted to do it because a lot of people don't do it. Also, sorry if I am rambling or repeating stuff a lot. I tend to do that, and I kind of need to learn how to break that. But it comes with time. But without further ado, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. For the people who made it throughout the whole video, I want to say thank you. And thank you for everyone who commented and subscribed. Just have a beautiful, blessed day, and we'll see you sometime next week with the carbon fiber wheel install. So, goodbye.